Happy Halloween. I recently asked all five of my professors trick or treat, and they all said, hey, you're getting a trick, and you're also getting a lot of homework and a lot of tests and a lot of projects and a lot of essays to study for. So I have been positively swamped this past week with schoolwork and with studying and with responsibilities. So I apologize for no video coming out recently, but today I'd like to talk about something that is near and dear to my heart, and that is something that I work on every single day because time passes anyways. Delayed gratification. This is a term that has quite a bit to unpack when it is said or when it is brought up in conversation. Delayed gratification is essentially the idea behind putting in a consistent effort, knowing that what you're doing in that moment is right, even if you don't want to do it, with the knowledge that eventually you will receive the gratification that you're putting the effort toward. Now, what I mean by this is, let's take, for example, someone who's trying to get into the gym. Someone who has a little bit of that 3 a.m. motivation, that good old motivation, and they just start doing push-ups in their room, and tomorrow they promise to go ask their parents, hey mom, hey dad, can I get a gym membership? And they start going. And they keep going and going and going until one day they really don't want to go. And that is when a fork in the road is created. One side where they go regardless of how they feel, and the other side is when they let their lack of motivation dim them down from actually pursuing what they wanted all those days ago. Motivation is an emotion, and emotions change every single day. Emotions are one of the most volatile, one of the most affected and unprecedented things that we as humans experience, and unfortunately, emotions, they dictate a lot of our decision making on a day-to-day life. And motivation is an emotion. So motivation is a fleeing concept that your mind produces to either get something done or refuse to get something done. And a lack of motivation is something that I see killing a lot of people's drive to go to the gym, because motivation and drive is very different. They exist very, very parallel to each other, except you don't need motivation if you have a drive. And if you have a drive, again, you don't need motivation. So let's go back to that first scenario, right? The little fork in the road. The first option that this child has, right, to go to the gym, even though they really don't want to, and they really just their nose is stuffy and their ankle is sprained or something like that. They just, well, you probably shouldn't go to the gym if your ankle is sprained, but they really just don't feel like it. They have a lot of homework. They're really lazy. And this is something I have to work on myself as well. Regardless of everything, especially due to the fact that they really don't want to go, they decided to go anyways. So they go to the gym and they have a terrible workout. They get only a couple reps in. They do like 5-10 minutes of cardio, and then their knees start to hurt, I guess. And so they're discouraged and they go back home. But what that kid doesn't realize is that them going to the gym, even though they didn't want to, even though they have all this stuff going on, they have a lot of homework, yada, yada, yada. Going to the gym, even when you don't want to, or doing anything that is progressively enhancing you as a person, doing that thing, even though you don't want to, just showing up, is building the very foundation of discipline. And I see the words discipline and motivation exchanged quite a bit. And they're extremely similar, but they couldn't be any more different. Motivation, again, is an emotion that is fleeting and it changes, and it's very effective, or it can't be effective at all. Discipline is not an emotion. Discipline is a skill. It is an action that takes time, years and years and years and months and years, to perfect and to gradually get better and to enhance. And discipline is one of the most important things that you as a person can have, because it is the foundation of why so many people are successful. It is the very, very essence of businesses, of billionaires. It is the very, very soul of why so many different companies are making a lot of money. It is the very backbone of why so many bodybuilders look the crazy way that they do. It only takes about 50 to 100 instances of you going to the gym, even though you don't want to develop a solid foundation of discipline. And I can confidently say that I've had that foundation because I've been lifting for a little over a year and a half now. I've been actually confidently weightlifting, weight training for a little bit over 18 months. And I'm a very lazy kid. I'm only 19, so I'm still a kid. I'm a very, very lazy college student. I'm a very, very lazy bodybuilder. I have a bag of candy next to me because I went trick-or-treating, but I'm extremely lazy. However, it took me not too long to establish that foundation of I'm not feeling good, although I know that if I go to the gym today, regardless of everything, that tomorrow I will be that much more grateful that I went. So how does that entire 5-minute long yap session tie back into delayed gratification? Well, nothing worth having comes easy. Nothing worth having comes fast. Pause. This kid who wants to get into the gym and who wants to go every day to improve their physique is not going to have their dream physique in a week or a month or even a year or even 2 years or maybe even 5 years. My point is, going to the gym, and I'm using this as an analogy, right? I'm using this solely as an example. This definitely isn't the only scenario that delayed gratification applies to. Going to the gym every single day that you can, although I'd recommend going like at least like around 4 to 6 days a week. Don't go every day of the week. It's not very smart, but going every day on the days especially that you don't want to builds the foundation required to experience delayed gratification. And I can confidently say that delayed gratification is one of the best reward systems ever. Delayed gratification teaches priceless, invaluable lessons to people who are currently experiencing it. Someone who likes to work on cars and has their dream project car that they've had rotting away in their shed finally starts to work on it, and well, what do you know? They have a dead-end job and they can't afford car parts, so they keep working and keep slowly but surely buying these parts. And even though after every single failure, after every single time they tried to search something up on Google and they couldn't find a helpful video by Chris Fix It or whatever, every single time they made an improvement to their car, something went wrong, they still decided to get back in the workshop, get back in their garage, get back in their shed, get on their hands and knees, start tightening bolts, a little bit sus there, start filling up oil, yada, yada, yada. And then the second they turn the key over, their car doesn't start and they need to restart. But that's not my point here. My point here is, regardless of everything, they've kept on pursuing what they truly wanted. And because of delayed gratification, they know that even if they don't want to work on their car, even if they think that all of this stuff is worthless, they're still going to show up. They're still going to work on the car. And eventually, when it does work, all of that effort will come into fruition into something that you will be forever grateful for. Delayed gratification produces the most wholesome and the best results to anything you apply it to, whether that be, like I said, the gym or cars, whether that be education, whether that be a diet, whether that be a relationship. Based on the English definition, right? Delayed gratification is the opposite of instant gratification. And we all know what instant gratification is. We experience it on a day-to-day life. Our brains are unfortunately hardwired by the surrounding society and by our technology to get instantly gratified. Your dopamine receptors are just constantly firing every single time you scroll on TikTok or on YouTube Shorts, or every time you like a post on Instagram. And I fall victim to this as well. I'm not some sort of martyr trying to say like, oh yeah, you know, I'm better than you. No. I'm just in the same sinking boat as you are. I scroll on TikTok for hours every day. I look on Instagram for hours every single day. My brain is truly rotted. So by society's standards and by society's technology that we pour our money and time and patience into, we have been hardwired, our brains have been hardwired to get instant gratification, which is not good. As a human species, when we were still developing, when we had back all the way those thousands of years ago, when we were first developing, we would hunt and we would wait and we would spend all day trying to get one meal from one animal. Humans used to just stalk and prey and just like prey on animals, and they would like wait for this massive zebra to look away so they can, I don't know, do something. So my point is, we as humans, like caveman humans, Neanderthals, we would like wait and just like stay in the same spot for hours, and we just have patience, and we would look at our target and we would creep up and then yoink, get the food, go back to the cave, feed the family. And the stuff that we consume daily, which enhances the instant gratification part of our brain, isn't natural. This device right here, my phone, isn't a natural thing. It is made to be constantly feeding my brain with information that I really don't need. And so one of the best things you can do as a human to improve your just natural reward system and reset your brain is to implement at least one thing in your daily life that requires delayed gratification. And for me, I'm doing it right now by recording a video on YouTube. Just so you know, I only have 2,400 subscribers. I mean, that is an incredibly big number, and I didn't even imagine my YouTube channel would get this far, and I'm incredibly grateful. However, I haven't made any money on this. I haven't gotten recognized by any big names, which isn't necessarily my goal with this. As I said, this is mainly a way to express myself, and it is a hobby of mine. it is still something I work on every single day. And even though some days, most days, I really don't feel like recording or I don't have time to, I still push myself to record because I know that years down the line, maybe when this channel has over 1 million subscribers, I would be thankful for the days where I built the foundation of my discipline to record to this YouTube channel. That's it. I mean, I was going to make a video about how I'm not ashamed to admit that I still go trick-or-treating, and then I realized that I probably shouldn't make a video like that because it's pointless. So I just thought, I'd get a little bit philosophical instead. There's going to be quite a bit less jump cuts in this video, I hope. I guess we'll figure that out when I edit it, but regardless, I hope you guys have learned something from my little yap session today, and stay safe.